BATS, Bloodsucker Anti-Terror Squad. This is the one we're looking at. It's we've seen this sort of game before. It's very much, in the press release of this, it very much emphasises speed run on it. It's obviously 8 to 16-bit styled platform action fighting combat game. There's a bit of a pedigree behind it. There are staff that worked on Adult Swim and stuff like that. As we look at it, it's pretty much by the by. You are. Let's start this up. Start. Now, I took this straight back to the beginning. I've played this already. It looks like I haven't, but I took it back to the beginning. Stripped out all of my. Stripped out all of my save data, so I could show you what it is from the beginning. So when we get further on, we'll let you know what's going on. So this is clearly one of these games. Combat style. We've seen this thing before. It's it is a action platform, as we say. Slight horror vibe to it. It's got a kind of one of those anarchic devolver styles to it. Here we go. So I'll show you, get this through. That's very interesting. So there you go, you're getting a lot of that. So I'm trying to show you stuff. And you can yeet that out there. So the thing is, it's much like Sonic. This is a one-hit game. But along the way, you can pick up blood as your vampire squad, obviously. And the blood will act as kind of like health bar, but mostly like rings in Sonic. Obviously, you build. You build your health bar with those things, with those blood droplets you get whenever you kill an enemy. Now, it looks like it's a full bar. When you get a full bar, you do a super move. But one hit from that bar will completely clear out the bar. One hit from it will completely clear out the bar. And then the blood will bounce away like Sonic rings. There we go. Look, here's vampire power, and I can do all sorts of stuff with vampire power. Exciting shit. So along the way, it will kind of evolve somewhat. You are this for a while. All your blood's gone once you spend that, so you can't preserve it for anything. I'm hanging around a bit so I can explain all of it. This is clearly built for speed runners, especially at the moment. That says that. Right. So,
oh my God!
One of the other things in this is you will unlock you will unlock another character, one of like 5 characters at the end of each level. So you progress with different powers who have different kind of attributes. I've just took a hit again in my one hit thing. And it's... Well, look at him having a drink down there. It's all very much kind of...
Oh my god!
We know this. You know that happens when you run into electricity, isn't it? So what do I like about this? It's got a very distinctive, classy little style. It's very slickly made for these 60-bit throwback style games. Oh, I've got hit. Considering it's a high concentration game, talking while you're playing it doesn't help very much. Yeah, so its big thing for it is its style. This was originally on the radar because it had a very cool, almost devolver-like trailer to it, very kind of anarchic, cheeky trailer. I don't think the humour of the trailer is as prevalent in the game. But there is definitely still the style to it. You know, it's slickly animated, it's got cool styles. I mean, we've seen the areas and stuff like that before. We know what that sort of thing looks like, so that's by the by. Yeah, so it's got a very cool style to it. Mechanically, it's a solid game. I can see that it's a solid game. I can see that there's a very specific audience for these sort of things that kind of where it's the action platform. It will eventually almost bleed into something sometimes with the sort that you'll get stuff like environmental things. It reminds you a little bit of Super Meat Boy. So it's a kind of a cross between all sorts of things. A very kind of Nintendo style action game. A Sonic style, speedy type thing, and everything I've just said. So that on paper, it's all very kind of very nice and cohesive. What doesn't work for me with it? This is going to be not so much a kind of this game has problems to it. It's going to be very much more along the lines of this doesn't work for me personally, but if you're of the mindset, this will work for you. I feel like personally, for me, this isn't nearly as responsive as I would like it to be. It's been a little bit more sluggish. The hits feel a little cheaper than I would like. And the kind of mistakes are very much mistakes are very kind of it's even a little kind of brutal. This is very much there we go. Now there's another thing there. So obviously that bar is very integral to the game. And there'll be certain times with that blood drop. Especially since this... Oh. I have to punch a computer somewhere. But I can't remember where it is. Oh, it's up there. See, it just did it there again. They're gonna die now. This is all fun. This is something you've got weird set piece things between. This is fun. Now, as I say, there's a good example for this, especially if it's built for kind of a no mistake type run. I feel when you take a hit, you drop your blood vials, which are very much like solid blood vials. And when you drop them out of crates, there's a weird animation you have to wait for these blood droplets to be collectible, and I feel like that is a real kind of sticking point when you want to keep moving so much. So when you drop it initially, it's fine. You can pick them up as soon as they hit the floor. When you take the hit, it's kind of you don't want to be hanging around. It seems fine on this level, but believe me, it doesn't stay like this for for a while. This is relatively simple. Eventually you're going to get lots of environmental hazards and everybody coming at you, and there's a very frustrating enemy that's due to come up soon. But really kind of... There you go, look, it's like... It just... There's something about the way it, for me, feels off. That I should have to wait for... something that I'm meant to sprint through so hard. It's going to be a game that is very much based upon your memorization. See, like I say, when you hit the enemy, the blood vials come straight out. When you're hitting a crate, it seems to take its time with the animation, and I don't have the time to stay around and do that when it gets to later levels. That to me is a bit of an issue, but that's to me. Oh, there you go, another smack, bang. Yeah, I can see the core of it is fine, but there's just a few things that just rub me the wrong way with the style. Time for some collie shangles, indeed. Oh, bossy boss. Oh, chop hit. What about that? Excuse me. Oh, Jesus. Right. Very specific this, and there's only one real way you can do it. Wrong. Ow. The jumping is not as precise as I'd like. So to get through these floors, it's a down push and punch type thing. And it seems very touchy as whether you hit that down or not, and it results in a lot of unnecessary hits. So if it looks like I'm missing crucial drops with stuff like that, I can assure you I'm kind of not. It's just it's not hitting the diagonal, it's not hitting the straight down as much as I'd like. So that is also let's just get rid of it so I can show you the next level and show you where I really come to a sticky little thing. In, right, bit. Oh. Ah! So this is all about patience and grinding out the attack patterns and stuff like that. As you will see later, the memorization. We've all been there with these sort of things, but this seems very much like there's only one variation to everything that you do. It doesn't matter much experimentation with the gameplay, I know. Oh boy. Oh, I don't have it. Hey. Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that. Right. So, clearly I'm not very good at this, but I'm not very good at many of them, but I still enjoy a lot. I'm enjoying the kind of the trial and error and the pace of something like maybe a Broforce or a maybe that one up as well. You know, a Broforce or a Meat Boy, but there's something that's just not jiving me with this one in particular. So I don't look totally incompetent playing this game. The difficulty is not a problem. I can think it's not a brutal game. It's kind of... It's not an unstoppable Voxel game, for sure. Yeah, about to take him out now. He's just getting the right angle. I forgot what the pattern was from the previous time I played it. Right. So you get to this point and you have no context really to what these characters are. So let's bring it like the blade. It seems to me that this the kind of, now I picked that one specifically. And it does seem very dependent on the specific level you go into isn't suited to either of these characters. It's a random to whether you do that or not. So there's a lot of kind of pain in the bum restarting to, oh dear. See, there you can start getting the projectiles and stuff like that, which is where I really start having a problem with the stuff I was talking about, like I have to wait for an animation cycle to clear to get a health bar. So that's where problems start with this sort of thing. Right, let's go in now. We're going to get another enemy. But yeah, so it means, well, I already hit. So I come in here and it's like, yes, it's learning the patterns. But this does seem like more of a grind than I would expect for something like this, just to get an initial start on it. It's the dodge mechanic to get through projectiles, something like that. Again, seems fine, but in action, this is something that doesn't work for me. It's certainly not a problem with the way the game is built. I'm hit acid again to knock my blood out. So it does seem to be a lot more trial and error like I would like with something. Oh! Zip through there. So what I don't really want is when I start a new level, I have to potentially restart 2 or 3 times so I pick the right character for the first initial level. This will all go away when you finally kind of get everything unlocked and you go for your second or third runs. But I found the first run a grind that I'm not particularly fond of. I'm hit with everything there, and now I can't get the bloods all gone. I have to go around with the saws. Look at this bull. Obviously, I'm going to end up being taught to learn that thing. I'll just get myself out of the sheer hell of it. Why not? Oh, your dash also requires the blood as well. And so, even more essential, you hang around for those animations you don't want to hang around for. You really can't afford to be skipping past the blood. So to make every time. It's because I'm talking as well. It's not this difficult, but
Oh my god!
I do kind of feel the initial dash shouldn't be a penalty. That bugs me a lot. I do think that's a little too much. Because the dash now becomes integral. So another thing I've noticed, which I did mention before, is something I'm not particularly fond of. The music is rather repetitive, and when you keep going over the same thing, it's a drag. It can be a drag. I'd like a little bit more wrinkle, maybe a little more variation to it. But I honestly do believe that mechanic of I need a dash to it, I need a Bloodline to even dash is a mistake in my opinion. As I say, that might be fine for people, they might relish that thing, but for me it's just a bit of a pain more than a learning experience. So let's go through this. Let's try and get here. But this, as I say, this is just a for me thing. I don't like the way it implements some of the style in this. But that's not to say this game has failed in its aim and its core goal. I think for those that are more willing to put up with this kind of this system and this implementation of this, I think it's this implementation that's a problem for me really. But for those willing to push past that and learn through that, I wouldn't say avoid this. I would imagine it would be a look if you're into this style of the grind. Not me, obviously. I'll run out of plugs as I hit. So yeah, it's not an avoid for me, but this is purely a taste thing. You're going to know if you're going to be into this just by looking at what I'm doing. It didn't work for me, but it could work for some people. It's a functional version of this style. But there you go. So that's my wrap up for that one. It's a bit of a shorter video, this one, but you've seen what you need to see, really. So there's not much more to say about this one. So yeah, thanks for looking in, and I'll see you later. Oh, I'm dead. What a shock.
Oh my
Bye.
God.